Have we finally got a good brick-built Toyota Supra Mark IV? Let's be honest here, capturing the curved organic lines of the A80 Toyota Supra and square rigid ABS plastic bricks has been an absolute engineering nightmare. Most of the third-party brands, and arguably the first-party brands as well, have struggled quite a lot with this one, ending up with blocky, unrecognisable messes. But today we're going to have a look at the Bole brick Toyota Mark IV Supra. Will this change things? Before we talk about the internal construction, let's look at the functional architecture once this model is fully assembled. Coming in at a high piece count of 4,508, and captured in 1/8 scale, designed strictly as an advanced display masterpiece, every engineering choice here prioritises realistic proportions and shelf presence. Starting up the front, the bonnet uses a dual pivot cantilever hinge mechanism that lifts cleanly without scraping against the front windshield A-pillars. Nestled inside is a fully brick-built representation of the legendary 3-litre JZ GTE inline-6 twin-turbo engine. Bole brick didn't just throw a generic block in there, no. You've got recognisable representations of the twin-turbo piping, the intake manifold, the valve covers, and front accessory belt pulleys. Moving to the doors, they utilise an internal Technic-style pin hinges recessed inside the front fender wells. This keeps the exterior bottom panel lines completely flush when closed. Inside the cabin, you've got an accurate left-hand drive, driver-centric dashboard angled towards the bucket seats, a detailed centre console with a manual working gear stick, handbrake lever, functional rack and pinion steering connected straight from the steering wheel down to the front steering knuckles. The internal chassis of the Supra model is built with a complex arrangement of gears, axles, pins and beams visible through the open body. The drivetrain components and suspension geometry are represented with functional style brick engineering, adding authenticity to the build process and the finished display piece. This is interesting to build as it is to look at. At the rear, the boot lifts up to reveal the rear strut tower, bracing and trunk lining. Beneath the skin, the chassis features independent double wishbone style suspension linkages on all four corners, utilising high tension coil springs. The spring rates are tuned surprisingly well, giving the car a realistic stance without sagging under the weight of its heavy bodywork, while retaining smooth damping when pressed down. They even included the twin NOS bottles tucked away in the rear boot section, a classic high-octane touch that tuner fans are going to love. So the standard body captures every iconic curve of the Mark IV Supra, delivering an instantly recognisable silhouette that demands attention on any display shelf. The standalone 2JZ GTE engine build steals the spotlight on its own dedicated red engine hoist. It features twin-turbo pipe-in blue cam covers and a functional belt-driven radiator fan that spins in sync with the internal pistons, turning the extra engine assembly into a true standalone display piece. Now let's step back to the unboxing experience. When you buy an alternative brick brand, packaging is usually the first sign of whether a manufacturer is serious or cheaping out. Opening the Bole brick Supra instantly gives off top-tier Carder AMG-style collector vibes. The outer box uses high-density cardstock with matte embossing, and the inside, the parts aren't just dumped into one massive chaotic sack, they're included in these very cool individual boxes. I love the inclusion of this plaque here. This adds a real premium feel. It's very similar to Karud. Very nice, a simple touch, but adds a lot of prestige to the kit. So inside you get 4 boxes of different sizes. They all feel very full. This kit is heavy. That's one thing I want to make clear. It's very heavy. It's the instruction manual. We'll come back to that. And this is the sticker sheet, the one that comes with it. They also do a second sheet as well, but I can't really talk about that one too much, but you might recognise it. I'd just like to say a big shout out to whoever designed the manual. It looks absolutely fantastic the way they've done it over 2 books. First book is very heavy with information, the second book is purely a manual. Let's have a look. One thing you will notice as I go through these instructions is that it says there's 10 bags. Whilst technically there are 10 bags of bits you need, they are about 5 to 6 bags per each bag, so it's closer to about 50 than 10. But it makes it sound a bit more digestible. We've all struggled with non-LEGO manuals featuring dark, unreadable colours or ambiguous placement arrows. Bole brick provides a heavyweight full-colour instruction book printed with high-contrast CAD renders. The current step is highlighted in full colour, while the pre-assembled sections are greyed out. Crucially, all the text notes, assembled warnings and part dimension callouts are written in clear, proper English. Scale callout diagrams for axle lengths are printed on every page where Technic pins are used, eliminating measurement errors during the chassis construction. But what's it like to actually build? Okay, so as I mentioned before, it's took me about 20 hours of bench time spread across several evenings here at work. Coming from scale modelling background where I'm used to precision alignment pins, gluing my fingers together and very delicate handling, approaching a high density brick build like this is a different frame of mind, to put it lightly. I'm going to be totally upfront. A few steps during the mid-stage bodywork assembly were definitely tight and fiddly because the tolerances on the internal frame are so rigid to maintain the structural stiffness. Inserting some of the lock-in pins require precision pressure. If you're heavy-handed like me, you've got to be careful not to crush the smaller parts because they do fall apart quite easily. I think you could probably play with this well, but you'd have to be quite careful. It's not going to take much of a, it's not going to pass a swoosh test, but it is going to look very nice on display. However, as the tolerances are tight, it does hold together pretty well if you pick it up by the roof or the side skirts. As long as you know how to handle this car, it does hold up pretty well. Taking a closer look at the raw plastic quality, the surface sheen across the exterior gloss panels is ultra clean. You aren't seeing any heavy sink marks, swirl defects or uneven colour variations between the different brick batches, which is a massive hurdle that cheap manufacturers often fail to overcome. I think one of the things that makes this kit succeed where others have failed is that they specially designed custom moulded brick elements just for this kit. Rather than enforcing square, stepped slopes to approximate the Supra's famously organic lines, Bole brick developed specialised smooth curve fender tiles and compound angled slope pieces specifically for this model. This allows the rear quarter panels and front nose cone to flow seamlessly without aggressive staircasing. Additionally, many of the major detail pieces come pre-assembled and factory pad printed right out of the box. Instead of forcing you to align massive vinyl stickers across multiple brick seams, complex graphics and emblems are printed directly onto the plastic tiles. This eliminates the peeling edges over time and ensures a factory-grade finish that will last for years. So to conclude, I think this kit is fantastic. It's definitely the best looking Supra. The kit can be quite fiddly to put together, as I mentioned, but most of the 1/9 scale kits can be. My downsides would be the stickers are not great. I'd like to see more pad printed parts, and the stickers themselves aren't the stickiest. And the lights. So yeah, I haven't really spoken about the lights because they're pretty dim and quite unremarkable. They're not very intuitive, just front and back lights, but you can always modify those. The packaging beats any of the first party brands. Absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to put this one down in the shop here at Jadlam. You can come and have a look at it, have a little play with it. Just be careful with it, please, because I've spent quite a long time building this one. If you're not local to the shop, you can grab this one at jadlamracingmodels.com, get yourself some free delivery, get yourself some J points as well. Get on there now and order it.